Excited to welcome to the stage our dear friends, Daniel Gillies and Joseph Morgan.
We made it.
You're here.
This is the best part. This is the best part.
Talking to me? Thank you.
It is. It's just what we meant. How are you feeling, you guys? So, and you made it to the end. Congratulations. How you doing? So what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about first?
Oh, we're going to chat a little bit. I can see some of you guys have already lined up, so I likely don't have to make this announcement. But if you have fan questions, you can line up over there. We only have about 30 minutes, so it likely won't be everyone, so I do not promise you'll get a chance if you line up, but you're welcome to line up and shoot your shot.
Wasting the 30 minutes.
I'm wasting it. Yeah.
And if you are in the line, just remember that those others in the line may not get to the front of the line with it.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning, like, if you have a question, not to make them too complex so that other folks
So
can...
here's how you should phrase your questions.
Here's an example of what not to ask. This is a question for everybody. What are your 3 favourite scenes and your 5 favourite characters?
Perfect example.
Amazing. These were some fan questions that were sent in, so I'm going to spare you guys my questions and give you just those ones. Yeah, brilliant. I'm just making sure.
I'm a little thrown by it as well. I don't know.
I was like, where are we going? What's happening?
No, just moving on. I was going to step on the water.
Yeah.
By the way, he's been cleaning up backstage. He's just stacking.
I'm a dad! I'm a fucking dad!
That's what I said. Around, started hoovering.
Yeah. I had a little apron on, kissed the chef, with the rest on the apron.
And $2 for being back.
It's true.
Anyways, Daniel, how did your experience on the originals shape the way you approach storytelling now?
Such a wonderful question. It made me a much better writer. It made me, honestly, it made me, I feel like in terms of script analysis, in terms of the way I look at a scene, what its function is, and what it needs to be at its essence, Elijah was the best course of education for that. Thank you.
For the very first time we met, you were talking shit about other writers. On the show, course in general.
I'm not talking shit about writers here. No, I'm not.
First time we met, you were like having a real run about writers, and then Leo went, Daniel, this is Lane, she was one of our writers, and you just stared at me with really big eye, and you're like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, writers are great.
No, I'm not talking.
That's why I like
So let me just elaborate a little. I think you will not find a good actor who isn't a good writer.
Right.
You just won't, because they know the guardrails, they know the parameters within which they can express themselves, they know what they can act, which doesn't need to be appear in exposition. They know, they start, if they're good, to know the intimacies of their character, and I think it's worth it to become a good writer as an actor. And that's nothing to denigrate the position of the writer.
Oh, I mean, you're a writer, so I feel like it's cool.
Oh, every good actor is.
Yeah, and the shitty ones are just not.
That's true.
No, Rebecca was up here earlier and she was talking a lot about having compassion and empathy for your characters and having to really understand, especially when you're playing villains and things like that, sort of the soul of who they are and the crux of who they are. So I think that goes to it. It's like even if you're not a writer, you're someone who really understands humanity and storytelling.
But the reverse is true. Every great writer is a great actor. They're literally acting the parts as they're writing. They're saying the lines out loud. It's true.
I couldn't act on a stage, but
What's that?
I said I could not act on a stage, but I hear
No, but you know what I mean. They're running they're
my instinct.
Joseph.
So much shit with his body language.
I can feel it. I feel like cleaning again.
Nervous tip, nervously cleaning.
That's true.
Yeah. Amazing. So Joseph, what do you look for in a role or a character now that you wouldn't have earlier in your career? And or what do you appreciate in a role or a character now that you wouldn't have before?
Really just like broadly just new challenges, I guess. say, something that's interesting. There's not like one specific thing that I'm looking for. I guess again, it sort of piggybacks on what you were saying. Is good writing. Really, that's always a draw. It's easier to learn. It's what it means is writing that is eloquent and has subtext. So you're saying one thing, but there's feeling underneath it that's doing something different, and that's what I look for. And also a good arc, a good journey we have a character. Yeah.
That's really cool. And to piggyback, it's been a long day. I mean, yeah, to piggyback.
You're in a good fucking city for a beer.
To piggyback off of that for both of you, is there like a type of character you haven't played yet that you're really itching to?
I mean, there's so many. Yeah.
The answer's sort of endless. It's not like the crazy thing about really good writing, as Joe says, is it's rich with subtext, and it's not telling you necessarily what it is. There's a sort of an enigma to it. It's holding some kind of secret from you. And it's sort of immediately identifiable if you've been reading scripts long enough, right? And so when you see that, sometimes you don't even know what character you want to play until you sort of see it, and then you see something and you're like, oh my god, that would be fucking marvelous to play. I mean, Joe's a magnificent writer, by the way, you guys, and has written a couple. Well, I've written one of his.
Mainly poetry that I
mainly poetry, love letters that he sends.
Little haikus that I over.
I don't like the pictures that accompany that. Well, I'll show all these folks and we'll see what they think. Anyway, but it's nice to. I think we're both interested in directing and both interested in creating our own stuff and I don't need to answer on behalf of Joe, but I probably ought to.
He's been doing it for
he's intellectual
years, so why stop now?
Yeah, but I should say for myself, like I'm
on behalf of me
and on behalf of Joseph, I'd like to create my own. I'm interested to answer that question on and stuff that I can generate for myself. I think that's the most interesting stuff.
Yeah, actually, yes. That and gingers. Play a ginger.
You went full hair dye?
I'd go full carrot top for a role. I haven't done that.
Someone figure that out. Figure out his ginger roll. Amazing. We will cut to fan questions right after this. I have one more quick question because we asked everybody today, so it feels like we need to ask you guys. But it started, again, because Rebecca was doing a real deep dive on her characters on the stage. And so we started asking everybody, looking back on your character, and I feel like for you guys, this is likely a little more obvious, but what do you feel like was your character's core wound that needed to be healed over the course of the show, whether it was or it wasn't?
I mean, I feel like mine's fairly transparently obvious because it's the fulcrum upon which Doll's show rested, which was this mildly pathological commitment to his brother, based on a deep shame at having failed him once upon a time.
Yeah, and I guess feeling, he was the bastard child, so feeling like the outsider and feeling inferior, never being good enough for his father, and that's what, that's the wound.
You'd be surprised how many answers were, Klaus didn't love me.
Really?
At least one panel had a person being like, well, Klaus didn't love them, so. Really perpetuating the cycle there. Amazing. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and take your questions.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Hi guys. I want to first just thank you both for playing such complex and layered characters. Are not all good or all bad. So I just want to thank you because you made us love you guys. So thank you.
Thank you.
And the question is very simple. What are some little things that bring you joy or happiness outside of working as an actor?
Dogs.
Oh, fucking dogs. Oh my god, they're the fucking greatest. They're just the greatest guys we know. They're the greatest people we know. Dogs are the greatest people we know, we all know.
That saying, be the person your dog thinks you are.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's so amazing. I love cats too in a very different way.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like
the Jews.
The cats are almost like it's kind of like loving the theater. You know how the theater
just it's kind of like it's like a cat that doesn't love you back, really. But there's something about God, a dog. Who doesn't love a bloody dog? Oh, and my children too. I got a couple of children. Thanks for the question.
Okay, this is Kristen. She has a question for you guys.
Do you wish that Joseph and his dad was closer?
Do I wish like Klaus and his dad were closer? But do you mean his real dad or his? No, like, do you mean like Michael or?
Michael.
So what is your quote?
Do I wish they were closer? No, I like the drama between them. And I enjoy killing him over and over. It makes for good drama, you know. Thank you, boy. Yeah.
So often the fans are like, why didn't these two characters like love each other more or fix their relationship? And I'm like, well, because we needed 9 seasons.
Do you know when I did that Titans show? In that, I killed my mum and my dad, and they were like, "How is it doing that?" I said, I've done it like 3 times with my dad, and 4 times with my mum already. This old hat."
It's a fucking Tuesday for me.
Hi guys.
I couldn't agree with you more.
This is Gracie. I'd like to ask you guys a question.
Joseph, do you wish that Klaus and Caroline got together?
I'm glad somebody finally asked the question. I've been waiting years. Gracie, I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because Klaus was a very toxic individual who was really catastrophic for anybody in his life, and certainly not a good role model, and not the kind of man that you should associate with. Heed him as a warning to stay away, Gracie. And I think that Caroline was all the better for not having him in her life in that way. Also, again, I enjoy the drama of him not just settling down and having a happy ever after. Thank you for your question.
Hi. My question is, once I read that Klaus wasn't mad, that he was actually the most sane one in a city full of hypocrites and traitors. What do you think about that?
What do you think?
Fuck, I didn't get it.
She said that she once read that Klaus was the only sane one in a sea full of hypocrites and traitors. What do you think about that?
That's a wall of dog shit.
Un muro de mierda. No, totalmente. Muro de mierda.
He said he agrees and he thinks it's wonderful, intelligent writing. Thank you.
So, my name's Megan, and I actually liked both of you in classical movies I saw you in, Bride and Prejudice and Mansfield Park.
Sick.
So, my question is actually, how did you get into a character that was from literature so influential in like modern literature as well, and then a character that was basically something you could create on your own?
Like, what's the difference between?
Yeah, like how would you get into character for those two kinds of things?
I mean, you get into different characters different ways, but the good thing about playing a character that's in a book, that's adapted from a book, is you have that to draw on. That can become your research and your baseline that you sort of pluck out. But the same thing with Vampire Diaries, when I joined that, because the character was built up before I joined the show, I was able to take everything that everyone said about me and kind of use that as my baseline.
And when you came in, you sort of fell desperately short. Support you, pick you up, but it was good.
That was when Matt Davis played it, and then I came in and I stole the show.
Well played, sir.
Thank you. What matters is he tried.
Hello.
Oh,
Great to see you guys. Your friendship is something that really stands out to me. So
we're not.
This is all Chris.
Really good actors.
He has a court order. I mean, this is the closest I've been to a still secret man in months. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't even Skype him without permission. That's right, I'm an old man.
He hasn't discovered FaceTime yet.
I'm still using Skype. You know? Yeah. That's why you haven't replied on my face.
Can you guys talk about a defining moment in your friendship outside of the show that we may not know about?
Oh.
There's some, many we can't talk about. I mean, you know, the one that hits me is when Joseph came to, we were staying in a hotel in Atlanta, and we just joined the show, and you came to the hotel room, and we were sort of going over the character.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it's weird, that feels oddly sort of close in time, but also like 1,000 years ago. Fuck, what was it, 2010 maybe?
Yeah, we always, you know, like we both cared deeply about the work, about the characters. So like our friendship was kind of built on the foundation of that, and we'd rehearse stuff in our own time. We, you know, like I remember you came round my apartment and we drank a bottle of sake. We went over that scene again and again with, and it was the dinner scene with Ian and Paul. And my mate Matt read Ian and Paul's lines. I mean,
It was so good. Matt went on to go and star in a couple of shows himself. It was amazing. He was so helpful. He was so enthusiastic. But yeah,
like it's always been built on that, really, isn't it?
yeah. I love Joe and I always felt like we wanted to make the show the best that it could be, the best version of itself that it could be, and I'm really proud of that. And I do feel like that energy sort of sustained itself. Like on the set, I feel like we sort of set a tone, and it wasn't always loved or respected or even acknowledged, but it was there, you know. And I think it's what made the show endure for as long as it did.
Yeah, thank you.
What were some of the challenges that came with playing characters as complex as Klaus and Elijah? And did you ever notice any of the characteristics of those characters transfer into your real life?
Not really, although I do have a real penchant for cleaning shit up. Now, which I do think Elijah does. I love folding shit now.
Every now and again I find Daniel, he's biting things.
It's true. It's really, really weird. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely. I mean, you draw on aspects of yourself, I think, for a character, and you know, you take parts of your personality and you exaggerate them and you suppress others, and it's also pretty cathartic playing the characters because you can release all of that built-up anger or upset, you know, through the scenes, and through the characters. But in terms of like their complexity, you know, we're lucky. Like I did 144 episodes as Klaus, right, through the Vampire Diaries, the originals, and then that one in Legacies as well. And so you have time to grow and sit with an audience and develop that complexity, and it comes from like always searching and expanding, and the writing always kind of propelling you forward. And it takes time, but it doesn't start that layered. You know what I mean? It's not like you get the script one. It's this, you go, whoa, this guy's layered. There's a lot here. You know, it develops.
One last question for you guys.
Yeah, I haven't watched the TV show, so my wife brought me here.
This can't be the last question.
I wanted to know who Elijah was, you know, and I said he was over 1,000 years old, so I just had to ask what the secret was. No, I'm just kidding. But what was your guys' favorite memory from the entire show? I'm a huge fanboy, by the way. Huge fan.
I could tell, and I could tell I need to start working out too, man. You're jacked as shit. So let's just talk about this for a second. Favorite memory ever?
The entire show.
The entire show. I mean, fuck.
I mean, like, come on. How do you do that?
Yeah, thank you.
144.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, we one thing about the cast that one thing that's extraordinary about the Originals cast, I mean, you've heard me say this 1,000 times, but it's like, it was just such a funny group of people. It's a really, really, really funny group of people who loved each other and loved to laugh. And so, I think I think that we recognize the absurdity of what we're doing, because it is, at the end of the day, you're doing something fantastical, but it is silly. Like, when you're reaching into the bucket for the blood, again, I agree. And I feel like that if you're doing stuff that's reaching that deeply into fantasy, it only takes a moment to look inwardly and you realize just how fucking ridiculous you're going to be.
It's like, because we used to joke a lot on set. Do you think it's like sort of releasing the pressure valve?
Exactly.
Like we would be sort of, you know how high the stakes are in all these shows, and you're every week it's like, this is the greatest threat we've ever faced. It's last week.
It's like,
What's up? Now not quite as great.
Yeah.
Freeze, hold.
Yes, exactly.
All right, now run at her.
So what she said.
Crazy stakes,
So
run again.
yeah, you're often being filmed and they'll stop you, and then there's somebody who's rushing in putting blood on you, and it's never, there's not a fluidity. Like if you're doing something contemporary, typically speaking, you're doing a scene. It's like this. We're just moving and acting, and it feels like life, and it just never quite felt like life. So I think we were craving that, and we just took the piss out of each other, and we're constantly looking for joy. So it's difficult to narrow it down to one. So wherever you went, he's done for my answer. Didn't like it. Oh, that's too long of a. Oh, there he is.
I love you, Joseph.
Thank you very much.
She's a big fan too.
Okay, we're gonna.
Oh, okay, we got a little bit more time.
Yeah. I was only kidding when I said one more question. Just kidding. Okay, here you go.
What kind of music do you think emulates your character the most?
What kind of music do you think emulates your character the most? Not like what they would listen to, but what feels the most them in vibe.
Yeah, like I make playlists for my characters. No, seriously, like that's a good way of getting into character, and it brings out emotions that you associate with the character and stuff. Like definitely, like one song that I was starting to play was the cover of "Feeling Good" by Muse. Like I felt like that because it's got some edge to it, but it's sort of like, yeah, it's got some swagger and stuff. So I think that was something that for me was definitely part of Klaus. Well, you Shakira, probably.
Well, I just said don't fucking lie. Next question.
So if the hollow wasn't the greatest thing you've ever faced, what would have the outcome been if you two were still alive?
What would the outcome been of what? Sorry?
If the hollow didn't exist,
Yeah.
and y'all were still alive,
Yeah.
what
What would have happened?
What do you
Happily ever after.
Klaus would have considered parenting his children crazy.
Got nothing more to say.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi. My question is, was there another character's plot or arc that you think would have been interesting to see happen to your character?
How about be a larger character?
No, like another character's plot or arc that you would have been envious of, essentially. Klaus without his memories, yeah. I think that would have been interesting. I was jealous of Marcel's whole like World War II thing he did with the trenches and with his guys and charging over, going over the top and all that stuff. I really wanted to.
We always kind of craved. We thought, look, you've created this convention of like these guys have been around 1,000 years. Get us out of the contemporary. Like the original sort of motif was we're going to flash back to them in history, but also they'll be sort of back in the same or thematically stuff in contemporary days. We always kind of craved us going back into the past. We wish they could have. We wanted the 70s episodes.
Charles was pitching 70s.
Yeah, 70s. But even the trench warfare would have been amazing to watch these guys go back in time. I wish we could have seen a bit more of that.
Hey, I'm Stacy.
You're 90s.
You know, man. I got a question. Battle Royale side, y'all had to pick three characters from the show, okay, to go against each other's. You cannot pick the Hollow. Who would you pick? Then you can have the audience say whose team is better. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand the rules.
Wait, we have to do this. Okay, we're gonna do it sports draft style. You can each pick one at a time.
3 characters. Klaus. That's my first one.
We're gonna fight each other, battle royale style.
Oh shit! Remember when Marcel became the tribrid or whatever the shit?
Hope is the
No, wait, is Hope the tribrid? Oh, fucking Hope then.
So it's Hope versus Klaus right now.
Hope versus
And I will pick the Hollow. Oh no, wait. No, not allowed the Hollow. Does it have to be from those shows? I can't have
Just
someone.
throw Superman in there.
Can I throw some? Okay, no, I'm gonna go more traditional. Okay, I'm gonna have Elijah against your team. How do you feel about that? It's reverse psychology. Because if you lose, if I lose, you win, you lose. He's created a lose-lose situation for me here.
That's Elijah versus Hope and.
Oh, the Marcel one when Marcel was all.
When Marcel was all.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, I'll have Rebecca.
God damn it.
Lose,
Somehow this is
lose.
beginning of Klaus's children versus Klaus's family.
All of us ganging up and killing a teenager and our adopted son.
Protect your brother.
Aunt Dahlia.
Aunt Dahlia. As well.
There you go. Who do you guys think will win?
I just feel like Hope could.
You got some sympathy, loves you.
This is win-win for me.
Why?
Because I'm on that team. Bloody well win.
It is. Back to myself.
Yes, I mean yes.
So I do like to think in a perfect world if we lined up Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca against even just Hope and Marcel, Klaus, Elijah, and Rebecca might step down. Like I don't feel like they're like, yeah, let's kill my boyfriend and your daughter.
Look, the whole situation is hypothetical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you both first for being here today. So question, right? So we're all super excited to meet you guys and see you guys. Who would you be starstruck over? Like what celebrity?
Oh, I've been starstruck over so many people, and it's almost always, fucking hell, musicians and comedians. And I just can't, I have mutual friends who know some of these people really, really well, and I'll text them, hey man, I'm right next to your buddy that I know, say, go and say hi, and I'll be like, I can't do it. And I remember getting on a plane once, like Jack Black, kind of got sat next to me, and he's in his black boots, and he's been so sweet to the lady next to me. She's like, oh yeah, he's being a total sweetheart, helping her with her luggage and the overhead thing, and I'm sitting there next to him, and a really good friend of mine is mates of his, and he goes, just tell him you're my friend, and he's going to say hi, whatever. I said, it's Jack Black. And he's not little, but like he's just cool.
He's amazing. So that's an interesting.
Jack Black is like, yes,
of course.
I love Jack. I remember once seeing Fred Armisen sitting alone in a goddamn lemonade. He and I were alone in lemonade. He kind of looked over and hey man, and I was like, hey, just go.
I don't know who that is.
Fred Portlandia, the main governor.
Oh yeah, I don't watch Portlandia. I wouldn't care if I met him.
So Fred Armisen did an amazing bit about the originals on late night TV, and it's called. Did you ever see that? It says Fred Armisen knows the show or something. It was a piece on Seth Meyers, and basically Fred Armisen would do this bit where Seth Meyers would name a show, and Fred would tell you what the show was about, but he'd never seen it, so he'd tell you about the show. It's really worth YouTubing. I think it's called Fred Armisen. Just go Fred Armisen, The Originals, and he talks about what it is. He basically says that we're a cosmetic surgery hospital in Boston, and all we do is perform nose jobs. Which is amazing. But and then Seth Meyers goes, it says it's about Klaus and Elijah Michelson living in the. Have you ever seen this bit?
No, I've
It's an
never
amazing bit. You shit on Fred Armisen. You know what? Now I'm no longer stage struck. Now I'm no longer starstruck. Next time I see Fred Armstrong, I'm going to go up and go, you know who hates you?
I'm going to start.
So I'd like to
my feud.
So who would you be starstruck?
Yeah, I was starstruck. I tell you who I was starstruck by is Ed Norton, because Fight Club is like one of my favourite films in the world, and it had just come out, and I saw him at a sort of Hollywood party type thing, and I couldn't speak. Yeah. And then I tried to kind of make a joke to Woody Harrelson, which fell flat. The whole thing was a disaster.
Can I throw another one in here? So I was at a party in New York, and I stood backwards because a dude was sort of coming straight at me, and I went like that with my elbow, just stepping backwards.
Who did you elbow?
Lou Reed, right in the goddamn solar plexus. Lou Reed. I turned around and I went, you know who Lou Reed is, right, mate? Shit, he's probably the only one. You know, whatever. I went,
He gets it.
And he was like, hey. And I was like, hey man, I'm so sorry. And I just, he looked at me and goes, that's cool. And I said, you're Lou Reed. And that was where it ended. There was nothing to say. I just elbowed him right now. I agree. Are we gonna,
Is that our last one?
I think that is our last one.
All right, great. That's it.
Guys, we finished with Lou Reed. Yeah. Just a perfect day.
I'm just going to start the questions by going, before you even begin, I'm not saying Rebecca, if I could be any other character from any other show, I wouldn't, because I don't...
Elijah, he'd be Elijah, that's all he wants.
I should have ended up with Caroline or Carrie. But I didn't, because I trusted you guys and you let me down. Last minute. Shame on you. But also, thank you so much.
You guys rule. What a beautiful weekend, you guys. Thank you so much. And that's the best way to finish up.
I really thank you, man. We had a really great time, you guys, and we appreciate it. Off you go.
Have a beautiful rest of your time in New Orleans, you guys. And
always and forever.
Sorry.